Hi guys, welcome back to the Blading Physio YouTube channel. Today I'm gonna do a first impression of the Roces RL1 liners. I bought new liners, as you can see. These premium liners from Roces are the RL1s, like I said. This is the version 2 because they had a lot of problems with the thong. That kind of was easily to tore off, so they made a second version. I like the second version a little bit more because it's all black and kind of like all black. So I'm gonna talk about that. I already skated this for 3 sessions and I think this is the ideal moment to do a little review or first impression video on them. I'm gonna do a full review in the summer, so kind of 5-6 months away from now, so that's gonna be better, or that's gonna be the time I need, I think, to really say what I feel and how I think about them. But the first impressions is nice after 3 sessions. So the RL1s are designed for the M12 boot, and guess what my favorite skate is? It's indeed the M12 boot from Roces. So this should be the perfect fit for the notorious M12s that are pretty small for the feet. I fit them, I love them, but I always felt a bit cramped in them, and especially at my toes. That's my biggest problem with the M12s, that my toes were a lot compressed in them, especially in the beginning when I had new skates. The first time always in was a horror. The first few sessions is always painful, and after that it gets better, but the first sessions I skated my new M12s with the stock liner was always like a cramped feeling and even a numbness in my toes after 30 to 35 minutes of skating. So I'll let you know if it's better with these liners, but that was my biggest point for getting them, for investing in premium liners, to get a bit more of foot health, so a bit more taking care of my feet, because numb toes isn't very healthy every time you skate. So I'll show you a few shots of my first skate sessions and I'll come back later to talk about them. So far so good. I'll let you see the honest first reaction that I had, which I filmed in the skate park, but for some reasons I always try to film in the skate park and talk to the camera, but the sound isn't very good there, so that's why I'm doing these little intermezzos here at my apartment, because the sound is very horrible. There's a highway going over it, so you only hear cars rushing and me like in the background a bit. So I'm gonna show you the part where I honestly speak about the liners, but for people who are using headphones, I recommend putting the sound a bit lower. So here we go. Okay, good first session, really nice. I have the same feeling that I always have in my M12s, that narrow, slick feeling in my shoes, in my skates. They fit like a shoe, fit like a glove sometimes you say. But I have a bit more space at the toes, and that's awesome. Mostly in colder weather, I had numb toes after 1 hour, and I've been skating for 1 hour now almost, and no numbness on the toes, so that's awesome. I was able to do all my tricks approximately. It's my first session in 2022, so getting back at it a bit, just refining that little feeling on my skates again. I haven't been skating for a few weeks because of studying and weather and stuff. So yeah, good first session. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on how this progresses. It's pretty awesome feeling already. I'm glad I spent the money on the liners, and yeah, we'll see what it brings in the future. So that's very positive for a first session. I really skated my heart out that day. I think because of the stress for my exams a bit. To me, the biggest thing for these liners, which I said before, is the toe box. I really wanted to invest in premium liners, but with one condition, that I had more toe room, and that's what it does, so I'm pretty happy with that. There's more positive points than this, but to me the biggest one was the toe box. I really want to be able to wiggle a bit my toes, just so they have some freedom, not being compressed and not have numb toes. So yeah, that's pretty positive. Also, I saw someone comment on the little lace in the back here. Not sure if you see it. Yeah, if the camera will focus. Over here, just here's a little lace. I saw someone commenting on it that that hurt his Achilles tendon. And I have to say, in the beginning, like the first 15 minutes, I was aware of it. I felt it a little bit, but after that, I got kind of used to it, or it didn't press my Achilles tendon anymore. So I'm not gonna change that, or I'm not gonna modify that to it. It's pretty good, and I don't feel it. So that's one thing that doesn't bother me. One thing that I saw. It's my first impression, but one thing that I found was the little laces to hold them up, to lace down, or to lace up, sorry, to lace up the liner. Those for me are a bit too short. I kind of want to make a little a little knot, and that was a bit harder to do, but it's a little thing, but just that was my first thing that came to my mind after feeling that I had placed my toe box. For the rest, the liners feel pretty great. The walls are pretty slim, but still give you enough protection to be in it, because I love that slim feel of my M12s. I want to feel my boot. I want to feel like it fits like a shoe. So those liners do that, but I have a little bit more toe wiggle room, so that's perfect. Also, what I remarked was that I found it more stiff. These liners are stiffer than the stock liners, which is pretty normal, but because of that I kind of had to adapt my skating style a bit. Apparently I lean a lot on my heels, or a lot backwards, so often because of that I stayed more upright, and from time to time I fell over, so I had to adapt a bit. So, but I think that's gonna loosen up a bit later on if I skate them more, so I'm gonna review that within 5 to 6 months. So day 2 of testing the RL1 liners from Roces. I'm back again at skate park. I wanted to try the liners with my FP insoles, but I tried the FP insoles at home, and when I just put my feet in, I already felt that it would be too cramped, so I'm gonna have to find a solution for that. I think they're a bit too thick, so I saw someone shave it off, so maybe I'm gonna try that, or I'll see if they have thinner ones, because I believe they do. So I'm gonna look for that. But I'm back again at the skate park, and I didn't really want to try the liners out with the FP soles and have cramped feet, because I'm kind of a bit frustrated from my exam yesterday, so I just want to blow off some steam, just skate a bit aggressively and just have some fun. So I'll just film the session and probably not talk as much as the previous video or the previous sessions. So yeah, just let's get into it. Day 3 was such a cold day, really horrible, so I had to warm up before going skate. I always warm up, but this time I had to really warm up before I put on my skates, because so cold, I didn't want to pull a muscle. Never skate on cold muscles, so this is a reminder for you too, to warm up before you go skating. Just do a little bit of cardio, just kickstart the heart a bit, get warm and then go into your skates. Because the risk is much higher if you don't warm up to have some injuries. Anyway, like I said, in day 2 the FP insoles were a little bit too thick for me to fit in the liner and not have a cramped feeling. My toes went numb when I tried that out, so no good to go to the skate park and have a bad time, especially when I have exams. I want to have a good time when I go to the skate park, because time is very limited and that time is needed to decompress from the exam. So I didn't dare to try it out with FP insoles. I'm gonna look for some thinner ones. I'm gonna figure that out and report within 5 to 6 months. So that's it, my 3 days of skating with these new liners. Overall, I'm very positive about them. Kind of glad that I put in the money to invest in premium liners and think a bit more about my foot health. So let's break it down a bit. I have a few negative points and a few positive points, so I'm gonna list them up, and I hope that's for you a kind of a first impression to know how they feel and what they are if you hesitate to buy them also. So here we are. Negative points for me is a bit the fear of the thong that it will break down. I saw a lot of stories about that. I know that Roces replaces them, or at least if you send them a message, and it happened in the first few weeks, I guess, that they replace them, I think. So that's an option, but kind of don't want to have all that misery and all the process behind it. So I just hope that they don't break down. To me, the thing that I got a bit annoyed of was the lacing system. It's a bit too short. I kind of am not able to knot it really well. I really have to pull, and I'm afraid of pulling too hard. So they should have put a tad longer laces in it. That would have been just easier too. And the third thing is something that is my problem, or something that I have to get used to, but it's a very different feeling from the stock liners, because they are more rigid and because they need more breaking time. Because they are heat moldable, they are also stiffer, because I didn't heat mold them, and because of that I kind of fell over from time to time, or I lost my balance a bit, because it's a very different feel from the stock liners. So yeah, that's something to get used to adapt to, and they're gonna get much more flexible in the longer run. So I'll let you know that in the next video about them. So my positive points are especially the toe box. For me, that's the biggest plus. I would have just bought them just for that. Of course, it comes with more positive points, but this toe box was what I needed. Just a little bit more wiggle, just no numbness in my toes when I put off my skates. So that's where I put my money on. I'm very glad, and they give you that extra little room in M12s that you miss with stock liners. So if you're hesitating, because M12s do fit you, but it's a bit cramped, you might want to try these, because it's a different feel. You get more toe wiggles, you get more room, but you still have that slim fit feeling of your M12 around your foot, and that's what I love about this boot. And the liner, of course. The second thing is it gives you more secure feel, because this liner, you invest money in them, you're gonna skate them in every skate you have. For me, that's all my M12s. It will always give the same feeling. So if I'm gonna put my M12 on with this liner, it will always feel the same. I didn't have that with stock liners. So before, all my M12s had different stock liners, so every time I put my feet in, it was like, oh yeah, that's right, these were more ridden in, or oh yeah, these are newer, so this is gonna be a more cramped feeling. And this is gonna be awesome, just to have a consistent feeling in my M12s, and that's gonna help me with progressing too. So very glad for that comfort and secure feeling. A big plus is also that they are heat moldable. I didn't do it because they fit. I don't have pressure points, so I did not yet heat mold them. I think I'm just gonna skate them in. If one day I feel like I should heat mold them, I'm gonna do it, but I was kind of afraid of messing it up, so I'm just gonna skate them and see. If one day it's needed, I can always do it, but for now they're good, no pressure points, feel good, so why should I? And the last thing is that they in general are better for my feet. It's just foot health. It's pretty important. I talk about it in one of my videos, in my previous videos. I always do a little routine after skating just to loosen up my foot a bit, but this will help for me to do it less often or less longer, because they have more room but still have the good feeling of an M12. M12s are narrow boots, I know that, I chose for this boot, but I kind of love the feel now of getting in the boot, slim, compact, but still room enough to not have numbness or pain afterwards. So yeah, in general, better for my feet, and that's what I love, and that's one of the aspects that is pretty important for me. So yeah, toe box and general healthier for my feet. That's the key points to me for buying this liner. So I guess that sums it pretty well up. I hope you kind of like this first impression. If you have questions about the liners or something else like foot health, you can always hit me up in the comments down below or on Instagram. I'm always happy to help out. So if you like this video, leave a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, you might consider to subscribe. And we'll see each other in the next video about these liners. And I'll let you know if I broke them or if I tore out the thong or if I'm still skating them and they got more flexible. We'll see. See you later, guys. Thanks.